Welcome to The Hedges Adventures. On this episode, we talk about the greatest few months of work we have ever done and answer all your harvest questions you ever wanted to know. But up first, we have a little summary of our time to show you. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get into it.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time. In case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list, girl, you can skip this funny business. Cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. All my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cool night. Yeah, you can keep your 9 to 5, cause I'm happy with the simple life. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, cause I'm happy with the simple life.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
So we're home for another 6 more days, I
Yes.
think, and then we head off to WA. Very excited. But we just wanted to answer a few of your harvest questions and wrap up that series.
Yeah.
I guess. So I've got a list that I'm going to ask Cameron because he was the one that was doing most of it.
Oh, I pressed it up. We're going.
Okay, so the first one is, how did we find the job?
Just Facebook. There's a Facebook page called Contract Harvesters Australia. That's where we got our job. There's also there's another one and I can't remember, but I think it's more WA based. We'll put it in. I'll find it and I'll put it in. But yeah, just off Facebook, people put up ads, phone numbers, just ring people and.
But you put up a post.
Oh, I did. I actually put an ad up after well, we sort of wanted a job a bit earlier, but we noticed a lot of the ads come up a lot closer to season, I suppose. Yeah, they don't sort of. There was a few real early ones looking for people, but yeah, a lot of ads sort of come up only a couple of weeks beforehand. Where I actually put an ad up almost a month, 6 weeks before we planned to leave. So, but yeah, just Facebook pages.
Cool. Experience needed.
None. There was, well, okay, I say none. For your general chaser bin driving, they really no experience needed. They'll teach you everything you need to know. I was taught everything I needed. I'd never driven a tractor before. Header driving, they want you to have experience. There were a few people offering to teach you. Obviously, some sort of machine driving background would be helpful before they sort of throw you in a, $500,000 to $1 million header. But yeah, chase bin, they don't need experience. But they also look for, it's not just headers and chase bins, like cooks. What else? Brii was our parts getter.
There's cleaners.
Yeah, cleaners,
Some
sort
of
of.
the
Yeah, yeah, definitely the bigger farms, they've got cleaners and cooks and whatnot. But yeah, really no experience except I was driving a truck, so you do need a license for that. And then for their insurances, they do prefer you have driving experience. But I have very little road train experience, and there was no issues. So yeah.
Okay, and on that, what is a header? I'll put up a picture.
Yeah, we'll put up a picture. So it's just a big, I don't know, tractor.
So it collects the grain?
Yeah, it collects the grain.
And then what is a chaser?
Well, a chase bin is just a tractor with a big bin on the back. And you would have seen in our footage, and we'll put another thing in here. Yeah, just follows the header, takes the grain, and then takes it off to where it's getting delivered to, either the mother bin or truck if it's waiting.
But license is required, but I think you've covered that.
Yeah, so no license is required for headers and chase bins and farm tractors. Obviously, license is required for trucks. Yeah, I mean, unless you're doing it on farm, you can get away with no license. That's obviously up to the farm's discretion. If you're not driving on public roads and you're staying on private property, you can obviously get away with it, and we heard of a few people doing that. But yeah, because I was leaving the farm on the road, I did need a MC truck license to drive our truck. Yeah.
Accommodation.
So it varies, and it would vary from contractor to contractor, to farm. So in our experience, accommodation was provided for all of them, but from the last one, last two, last one, and then I can't remember. So yeah, I'd confidently say 95% of the time accommodation will be provided. Won't be flash. There'll be dongers or something on site. One of our last farms, we started late and they had no accommodation. We obviously had our caravan, and there are a few other contractors that were travelling in caravan because it makes it easy. You've got your own accommodation. And that was the reason we got one of those last jobs, is because we had our own accommodation and they couldn't put us up, and we were too far from a town to be paying or travelling back and forth to a hotel room or something like that.
But some of the boys that we were with, they just slept in their swag.
Yeah.
They were prepared for it. I think it's pretty common that you sleep in a swag as well. So if there's no accommodation, you just sleep in that. And
so where the boys had swags, we were in our caravans, but there was toilet and shower block available to them. So yeah, they were sleeping in a swag, but there was still amenities and stuff they could use. So it's not all bad.
In most of the accommodation, like, they had aircon as well. I think that's a pretty like a necessity out there, especially because it's so hot. So most of the places had it.
And all the places we were able to plug into water and power.
Yeah.
We didn't go, I don't think any of them, Yeah, all of them had water and power of some description for us to use while we were there. So
most of these farms are set up with houses, dongers,
yeah,
caravan, like they've got it all sorted out, so you don't have to worry about it.
But yeah, if you've got nothing and you're watching this, like, I want to do something different, there's single room dongers and camp kitchens, I suppose you'd call it. And
on camp kitchens, food.
So the first two places we went to provided food. I do believe the guy we worked for does pay for that. Like, he pays a per person, per day fee, I suppose. I don't think it's too much for them to provide food. But yeah, so we got bought out lunch and dinner and smoko and drinks and stuff like that at the first two. And then after that, we had to provide our own. So we were fortunate enough that, again, the contractor we worked for, his wife had frozen a whole heap of meals. So they actually provided for us. But again, that would vary from contractor to contractor, that you might have to provide your own food or whatnot.
I think it'd be pretty rare for you to have to do that.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk to anyone else
There's a couple
about
of
what they
couples,
were
but
going.
I think
Yeah.
they just did their own in the vans. The other ones in the vans probably did their own, but
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, our experience, it was all provided the whole way through for us, and I think it'd be rare that it wouldn't be. But yeah, it'd come down to the contractor. But that's what so when I applied for the jobs, I just asked all those questions. Yeah, accommodation, food, what's sort of included, what's not included, what do we need to bring. Brii wasn't technically on the payroll, so she didn't get meals at some places. So we had to provide food for her, and then some.
which is fine because I'm gluten free and lactose
Oh
intolerant.
yeah, it just makes life hard.
I'm just a pest.
So yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Travel. How much travel? What's the grain highway?
Oh, it starts sort of south. What do you call that? Southwest Queensland, St George area. It does start further north, but that's, I think, from what we sort of saw, is that's where the bulk of it starts, and then heads south all the way down to Victoria. So some of the contractors we worked beside did the opposite to us. So we worked our way south and then travelled home, where they travel north and then work their way home. So there's still, actually, I still see ads for jobs now. So they'd be wrapping up soon whenever this video comes out. But yeah, it go all the way down to Victoria somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but you could go into January easy working. And we started sort of September, end of September, start of October.
Yeah, and that's kind of just like the Queensland, New South Wales, but there's people that harvest grain on the other side of the country. And
yeah, so Western Australians harvest time's about the same as ours.
so there's harvesting everywhere in Australia, so you can do it whenever, wherever, and travel as far as you want. We actually had a guy come up from South Australia to do it. A lot of people do come up and do the Queensland, New South Wales one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So a lot come up from Victoria and work their way home. But yeah, what's next?
Pay.
Yeah, so I mean that would be between you and the person you get employed by. I'll say, I won't say what we were paid an hour. It was good, and it is above award wage because of the hours you work. There's sort of the hours we were working probably aren't 100% legal, but it's the
It's fine because you're only doing it for a short amount of time. It's not like you're doing it for 12 months a year.
No, but it's sort of like we had that understanding going into it. So if you're looking at doing this and you're like, oh, I just want to work 9 to 5, you're not going to work 9 to 5. There were crews we worked beside that had 12-hour shifts. They obviously were bigger crews. It was actually the farm's crew, so they had a night shift and a day shift, and they went 24/7. Us, it was only 6 of us, or I can't remember.
At max 6.
Yeah, we only had a handful of us, so we did work longer hours. Your body just gets used to it, and you are sort of paid above award wage for that, to the compensation of
But in terms
the hard
of,
work.
like, who gets paid, like, level by level, like, it starts at the chaser bin. So no experience, no nothing. It's a pretty basic tractor. They get paid about $30 an hour.
Yeah, 30
roughly,
to 35, I
again,
think.
it depends on who you work for. And then it goes header and
Truck
truck
drivers.
driver are pretty in the
What?
same.
No, I
as
thought
well.
some header drivers were getting paid a fair bit more than...
Yeah.
I heard, yeah, and it's hard. We didn't, like, I wasn't paid to drive a header, so I don't know what they were paid, but I did hear someone say they were getting paid pretty well. But you're also in control of, like $500,000 to $1 million machine, so it is a fair bit of responsibility. And then I didn't have a lot of truck driving experience, but I believe I was paid pretty fairly for lack of experience and the work we were doing. So.
And then once you get the experience, like, you can then obviously
you've got
get
it for
paid
next
more
time. Yeah.
at the next place. Some of the backpackers we work with, like, they negotiated in that way so that they've done header drivers, chaser drivers, and so they got paid more than what you would initially start with. So just like any job, you get a little bit of experience and you're good to go.
But most people, or we found most people in the harvest, like, they're willing to give you a crack. Like, if you've got your head screwed on and a bit of common sense, that's all you really need. Hey, and just willing to listen. And that's it. Like, I don't know, we found that, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, we definitely will do it again.
100%.
That was kind of, it was pay and hours, so you kind of
Hours, yeah. So
both
we
of
did
those.
we did big hours, and we half expected it. And I spoke to, and that's ask when you know talking to potential employers, just ask them what hours they do. They might stick to just a 12-hour day, depending how many people they have. But yeah, I knew going into it that the hours were going to be bigger, and that's it. Yeah, sort of paid to compensate that. We were on a flat rate as well, so there's no overtime pay. So that, again, that wage is a bit higher than, if I was a Monday to Friday truck driver. It sort of balances out. But we were paid obviously our super and tax and.
But like there'd be
all
days
that.
there where it was too wet to harvest, so we wouldn't get paid. Like,
Yeah,
so
well,
we
that's
sat there
it.
for a couple of days. Like, you don't get that kind of.
There's no sick days or rain days. It's just go, and then that's where that sort of above average pay covers that too. That if you do have a couple of days off, you're not, scrounging for money, I suppose. But yeah, we did alright out of it. We'll definitely do it again. It's definitely an experience, even if it's not for the money. Do it for the experience. Like the people we met, the things we saw. Like it's next level. Like what goes into just harvesting wheat and barley and chickpeas and whatnot. Like it's.
You don't really get it until you're actually there.
Until you're in the hustle and bustle of doing it, and there's hundreds of trucks racing around, and headers and people and chase bins and
Fire and rain.
and you're in paddocks at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and all you can see is just lights everywhere. It is almost surreal. It is cool, and
It is a cool experience.
we definitely enjoyed it. We're keen to give something else a go though.
As in,
I don't know what, but who knows?
Like peanuts or potatoes
or
like sugarcane. Apparently the cane season up north is pretty good.
So I don't know. See what we do. We'll travel for a little bit now, and I suppose that's a sneak peek into what's happening this year. As we are actually heading to WA. It's going to be a quick trip to WA. Not exactly how I would have planned it.
We got a wedding in February.
Yeah, we've got a wedding to go to. We can't. So we've sort of got 3 or 4 weeks to get across. So we'll see as much as we can, and then we'll spend a fair bit of chunk of time in WA and sort of come back slowly, or we don't know.
I don't know. We'll either go back to South Australia.
Oh, we'll end up living there. Who would know?
But yes, fingers crossed it all works out. 3rd year lucky.
So at the moment, everything is good.
No jinx.
But yeah, hopefully that answered some questions. If you had any, if there's something you want to know more about, let us know. But yeah, if you definitely get the opportunity, do it.
100%.
Like, you've just lost your job, do 2-3 months of harvest, travel with your crew. Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend it. And you travel. Like we travelled, how many Ks did we do?
I forget.
Oh, we must have done
4,000.
4,000 or 5,000 Ks. And Brii did our parts runs. So then she was also paid an hourly rate, and we got paid. So the trips that Brii did in our car, we got paid per kilometre that she did in our own car, and then obviously just an hourly rate when they took one of the boss's cars when it was available. So we weren't out of pocket there, which was good. Obviously we didn't mind using our car. Bree's comfortable driving it, but yeah, they did compensate us for the use of our vehicle as well, which was nice. But that will come down to who you work for. But like I said, most people we sort of met seem pretty fair and willing to, do that for you. So,
but yeah,
that it.
Catch in another state.
Hopefully.
Woo-hoo.
Look at him having a sleep. Knackered. We took him out yesterday and he ran around like a puppy, so he's going to sleep for the next week.
I couldn't believe how much he was running. It was a bit worrying. I thought he was going to break a hip.
And now he's knackered. Absolutely knackered. But yeah,
Oh, well.
righto. We'll see you in the next one.